Well, hello, Sunita. Thank you for joining me again. How are you?
I'm good, Myaj. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am doing good. I wanted to ask, I guess, more specific questions today focused around CMMC, but more of explaining the roles and deliverables of different stakeholders during a CMMC gap analysis or an assessment.
And I'm always so happy to talk to you, Myaj, and answer all these questions. I'm so excited talking about CMMC because there are so many things we keep learning as well, and I love to share. So, to answer your question, yes, these are distinct roles and requirements from each of these stakeholders. I call them people who are basically in the role of like a system administration
Mhm.
and network admin, and someone who is responsible to make sure that all the I's and T's are dotted and crossed for from the standpoint of the documentation and implementation standpoint. So there is an element where we have to implement all the controls, configure in the system, monitor the system, manage it, keep the audit trails and things of that nature. And then there is a component of making sure you're meeting with the requirement of procedure, policy, and training, and so forth, auditing and things of that nature, collaborating from the IT, either it's a person or a team, and giving those evidences as you work with the auditor, C3POs, or CCPs, or CCAs, however, whoever you're working with, and making sure that you meet the requirements. So compliance is another element of it. So as well as management. So management leadership has to provide all the resources, make sure that they have the right tools, systems, applications to do the work, provide the right training for the individuals, and make sure that people are held accountable, define some objectives around it. So management has this role where they come in and also basically guide everybody to meet these objectives. But their role is more of the governance as opposed to compliance person who is looking at the entire CMMC from the documentation, policy implementation standpoint, and IT individuals. It can be one person or a group of people. Ideally, you want a group of people who are responsible for managing the system and the entire enclave side of things. So you
Okay.
need a couple of people, and their roles have to be segregated. Roles cannot be the same, meaning the same person cannot be the compliance doing the audit if you are the one who configures the system or looking at the audit logs. That role is segregated, and that's what the segregation duties is all about. So in a small organization, it can be definitely a little harder to implement these requirements.
Okay. Well, how does a third party consultant or RPO contribute to identifying and documenting compliance gaps?
An RPO will have a number of RPs. That's what the registered practitioner. These are consultants. So basically, RPO has a registered practitioner organization where they have few people like us, and then we help to understand what the gap is based on looking at what the organization has been doing and what the standard requires, and look at the infrastructure of the organization and make sure that the procedural policies, SSPs, forms that are needed to do the implementation, make sure the configurations are done. So the delta between having the right documentation, having the right training, having the right configuration built, and an independent body like an RP verifying and validating it to make sure that it's accountable. So think of the RP as a person who gives you the right documentation tools to implement and also hold you accountable as a project manager, because that's another aspect of the RP is to make sure that this entire project gets done in a timely manner. Your internal resources and external supports are very important, and things have to be done in time, otherwise the cost rises exponentially. So that's the one of the biggest role that is of an RP, is to act as your champion and making sure that the entire project of implementation gets done in a time implemented in a timely manner.